Hakuna sehemu.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on whatever time you are watching us. Karibu sana, karibu sana. This is the time where we talk about who did what, where, why, when, and how much did it cost. That is in our country, Kenya, in East Africa, and in the world generally. So, my name is Tamara Patience, and as usual, karibu sana. If you are a returning viewer as well as a returning subscriber, karibu sana. Feel at home. You are highly welcome. Also, if this is the first time you're watching this, also karibu sana, feel at home. You're highly welcomed. As usual, our comment section is always open. Feel free to share your sentiments, your questions, your requests, and everything. And most definitely, we're going to react to them. Yes. As I said, my name is Tamara Patience, and as usual, I'm always joined by the man himself. Mchambuzi mwenyewe. Emmanuel Boside. No. Yeah, so definitely we're going to be talking about what is happening in our country, Kenya, and what is happening in the political scene. So today, the deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, was not short of praise for the president, William Ruto, that is for leading the African leaders during the Africa Climate Summit, which was held in Nairobi for the past 3 days. So he said that the president actually declared the continent's firm stand on climate change, meaning that the continent is going to speak like in one voice when it comes to matters climate change and climate financing. That is during the United Nations General Assembly, which is to take place this year. Now, of course, this happened in Mombasa during the 2023 Mombasa International Trade Fair, whose also theme goes hand in hand with climate, which is promoting climate, smart agriculture, and trade initiatives for sustainable economic growth. Now, of course, the DP, that is Rigathi Gachagua alisema, the government is committed to transforming the agriculture sector and also be involved or bring to light the projects that are under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. So while this was happening, we also had the CS for agriculture, that is Mithika Linturi, also talking about the same thing and applauding the Kenya Kwanza government for the initiatives that it's making towards climate and towards agriculture. Now, before we chambua what is happening, let's just have a glimpse of Mithika Linturi's statement today. Then we'll be right back.
As a ministry, and Your Excellency, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the Governor Mombasa, Principal Secretary is present here, the members of the ASK leadership, led by the Chair Lindy and the CEO, Mr. Mudoka, all exhibitors, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I take this great opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, the ASK and the rest of the stakeholders in the agriculture sector to welcome you to Mombasa International Show. We are glad that you accepted to officiate the opening of this show. Indeed, this illustrates the importance with which the Kenya Kwanza government accounts this sector. Your Excellency, as you are aware, agriculture is the backbone of the economy of this country, contributing to over 25% of our GDP and 70% in the rural population. And cognizant of the government's agenda in terms of prioritizing agriculture as one of the 5 pillars of our economic recovery plan, the small, micro, small and medium enterprise MSMEs, housing and settlement, healthcare and digital superhighway, and the creative economy. We further note that the bottom economic transformation agenda has identified cotton, tea, coffee, edible oils, maize, rice, dry leather, and beef as priority agricultural value chains earmarked for increased resource allocation. And to illustrate this commitment, one of the first measures instituted by government was to subsidize fertilizer and the continued support in farmer registration. I want to report to Your Excellency that due to increased use of fertilizer and favorable weather, we project increased maize production for the long-range season harvest. Consequently, we are putting in place measures to reduce post-harvest losses and ensure the benefits are passed to Kenyan farmers and consumers. And to this regard, we've already signed a contract for the purchase of 100 portable and fixed dryers to ensure that we reduce post-harvest losses. Your Excellency, the Kenyan coast plays an important role and contributes significantly in the agriculture sector, including food production and the export market. This region is a major producer of nuts, coconuts, that's coconuts and cashew nuts, fruits, which are mangoes, melons, and vegetables, including food crops such as cassava, sweet potatoes, cowpeas, maize, and beans. And coconut is the major cash crop in this coastal region, where the total number of coconut trees in the country stands at an approximately 10 million trees, which are highly concentrated in Kilifi, Kwale, Lamu, Tana River, Taita Taveta, and Mombasa counties. There are 83,000 farmers who cultivate coconut in their farms, spread over a total area of 205,000 hectares of land. And in total, there are 150,000 households directly depending on coconut-related family incomes in the country. So currently, coconut contributes 1.5% of the agricultural GDP at the national level. Kenya is a net exporter of cashew nuts, kernels. The main export destinations include the United States of America, the Netherlands, Canada, among others. Cashew nuts export volumes from Kenya have generally been low, ranging between 200 to 500 metric tons, valued at 500 million annually. The ministry envisaged to enhance the cashew nuts industry in the coastal counties by availing the requisite inputs, certified seedlings, and other necessary support to sustain the industrial development of this value chain. Your Excellency, to support the agro-processing and value addition under the MBITA, the government will construct also a common user facility at Ndongo Kundu Special Economic Zone in Mombasa County, among other interventions. We believe that this county will inevitably play a more significant role in the implementation of the MBITA agricultural value chains. For Mombasa County and this region to effectively benefit from MBITA, there is a need for adoption of appropriate agricultural technologies and innovations. Mombasa International Show is therefore providing a tremendous opportunity by exhibiting a wide range of technologies and innovations, including climate-smart agriculture, mechanized agriculture, agro-processing and value addition, urban farming, among others.
Agriculture sector, which according to the Azimio Lomoja, no, oh my God, Kenya Kwanza government, during the manifesto, the 6 pillars, the first one of it was agriculture, which we know contributes to probably half of the GDP in Kenya. Na tunaona maendeleo yaendelea Kenya hii, Brother Emmanuel. But according to you, waonaje the kind of progress that is being made, especially in the agriculture sector as per the Kenya Kwanza manifesto?
Thank you for the good question. I'll start by saying that first, Kenya Kwanza has taken government when the food production in our country was very low. Or something which has brought about high price for unga. Something that has brought issue about high prices for foodstuffs and commodities. something which has actually took us as a country into demonstration of all kinds. Actually, the previous demonstration that we saw all over, they were grounded or they were based on the prices of unga. Unga. So these demonstrations, so these demonstrations of unga and his entire team promised first to reduce the price of unga from around 200 to 150. Actually, they said
100 shillings. Yeah.
He said, akiweka Biblia chini. Bei ya unga itarudi chini. But we never saw that happen. What he went for instead, he went for saying, give us a period of 1 year. From kuweka Biblia chini to again saying, give us 1 year. So if you add us 1 extra year, we are going to reduce the price of unga. So what he did as a president of the agriculture sector, what he did, he gave out fertilizers in a subsidized price. Fertilizer which was costing around 5,500 per 50 kgs. Its price they reduced by half. So if you go to the national cereals market and wherever, at the moment you take the same 50 kgs of fertilizer at 2,500. So that's a very great improvement and achievement that we can say here in agricultural sector. Kenya Kwanza's government, under the leadership of Mheshimiwa William Ruto, has tried to improve in that sector. So this one we saw the other time, and actually this month, as we continue and waiting for the El Nino rains. The country harvest increased. It has increased by more than 14 million bags, which is a very big milestone for the Kenya Kwanza government compared to the previous government of Mheshimiwa William Ruto, of Uhuru Kenyatta, that was affected by handshake and whatever, as they say, something which brought for the downfall of the price. Yesterday, we got another food coming out of the country. So the international refugee program brought into our country more than 20 million bags of various foods commodities. So this includes grains of maize, millet, and wheat to our country. So these ones are going to boost the stock in national cereals. So again, so using the ones we have harvested as a country, together with the free food that we're getting from the program for the international one. So as a country, at the moment, we are safe. But for at the next period, until we have the next harvest. So the next general harvest we're going to have is around January. So now that people are going to plant, you know, there are foods which take 3 months, and basically majority of the foods take 6 months again to have that. So to say this, the government is trying and has achieved in first giving fertilizer on a subsidized price. Second, it has increased the harvest for this year, and it has worked out to see the farmers having not selling their harvest at a cheap price. So they've told the farmers to wait until they are announced to them going to sell the food commodities. So that's the first improvement the government has done, and we can appreciate it for it. But again, we want to see on areas that the government again has not improved.
No.
Talking about, we are going to expect El Nino rains. What happens when you've been warned about the rains coming? What you should know now, when rains come, there's going to be a lot of water. How are you going to harvest this water? So that you can use the same water to improve irrigation to areas which are less productive due to lack of adequate rains. So these ones will give a wake-up call to the government. There are dams that were under construction, but they never saw the day due to corruption. So the government should again see on how to finish up those projects. You know, the government is always the government. What changes in government? Who is the head of that government?
No.
So the government of Uhuru Kenyatta, which was striving hard to see more dams in our country, and my happiness is Uhuru's government was assisted by our current president. So those manifestos and agendas they had as the big four agenda, they should now finish them under his government. Now that some people stole money, they are into account. It is now the government source money from other different ways, get the money, finish the projects, even as cases of who stole are being sorted out. So under the big four agenda, William Ruto has been very clear saying he will continue the big four agendas that Mheshimiwa Uhuru had for the Kenyans. There's first, food security. Second is housing. The third is universal healthcare. And the fourth one is? And there's the fourth one. So the government of William Ruto, basing itself now in the development of the agriculture sector. First, use the available land effectively. Second, use the land that's not productive to be productive. Just like we've seen Israel did to its desert, just as we've seen Egypt doing it, and just as other countries are adapting new irrigation methods. If you go to a desert, like we have the northeastern parts of our country, which are dry through the year, we can harvest fast water from the rains, which are expecting and have been in our country. Second, let's now use even man-made rivers. We can make rivers there and then improve the food security. And maybe to finish up on that part, we had projects in the past, like for the 4K Club. Can you recall it? These were clubs in schools, bringing together 4 students. And you are allocated a small piece of land.
Which year was that? Probably didn't happen in my probably didn't happen in my education system. I know there's a 4K club. I know there was an agenda.
So majority of our Kenyans don't take agricultural courses. To be very important.
Yes.
We've seen people saying that in Kenya, English is compulsory.
Yeah.
Agriculture is optional.
Optional, yes.
And the same agriculture actually is the backbone of economy in any country.
No.
Go to the United States. 50% of their revenue must come from agricultural products because people must eat. The basic needs of a human beings are first food, shelter, and what? And clothing. Of which food combines it all. You can't dress if you're hungry.
No.
You can't have shelter if you're hungry. Now, what the governments have done, like in our country, Kenya, many students don't want to take agricultural courses in higher institutions of land. And for the few who try to do it, get a big discouragement on the way. That agriculture is for the less learned. It's for the illiterate people. It's for small particular people. But truth be told, money comes from dirty hands. It is here in agriculture that you must go farm. Work hard. Use modern instruments.
get the produce. People must eat food. So when now we bring the aspect of food and business, we get agribusiness. It is from the farm you make money. It is at the marketplace you get it in monetary value. First, your products are in monetary value. But for them to realize the monetary value they have, you must take them to the consumer who you will exchange using money. So if we had this culture of a country whereby we appreciate the role, how important agriculture is, then we are able to move as a country, learning that we're doing best as a country, we're improving in matters dealing with agriculture, and then that's move forward. So the government should invest in agricultural sector. We have the small and medium enterprises, whereby people need money, give them money in loans, give them farming experience, give them modern technologies, and then expose them to the world, of course, for the market, whereby they are able to sell. We've seen what Mheshimiwa, of course, we'll talk about it, that the Mr. School is doing. So industrial parks. When we have industrial parks include agriculture. Agriculture in itself is an industrial park. So we've seen one which have been suggested. Now in Kenya, now we're going to have industrial parks in every county, whereby it's a 50%, 50% allocation from the national government and to the county government. So the target is to raise 100 million to start an industrial park in a county. So if you give 50 million shillings as the leadership of Busia County, and the government adds you another 50 million to open up an industrial park, maybe they specialize in your area, whereby we have fertile lands. Nothing is expected in a fertile land other than an industrial park dealing with agriculture. And they
Probably Kenya Kwanza government is going to achieve in terms of the big four agenda that was set previously by Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta. That is food security, affordable housing. We have manufacturing as well as affordable healthcare. Now, speaking of governance, we move on. Now, earlier on, that is yesterday, we saw the Orange Democratic Movement National Committee announcing a decision to expel 5 members of the party. Now, of course, some of the members who were expelled include Elisha Azambo of GEB. We have Gideon Ochanda. We have Felix Odibor, also known as Jelango. We have Carol Omondi. We also have the Kisumu Senator Tom Ojienda and Rongo MP Paul Abor, and also Riri counterpart, that is Mark Nyamita, were fined 1 million Kenya shillings, as well as Esther Pasaris, who was fined 250,000 shillings for siding with the finance bill. Now, of course, this has like elicited a lot of reactions. One, from those who are expelled, and two, we have from also those who other leaders, inclusive of Kenyans as well, citizens. So we have we can start with the Kisumu senator, that is Tom Ojienda, who immediately after the announcement, he took to social media na akasema, he has no apologies for working with President William Ruto, and he will continue working with the president because he sees no problem in that. We have the likes of Felix Odiwo, that is Jalango, who also took to social media, number one, posting a photo of the time watu waliamua kubebana na malori na boxes.
I remember that
Yes.
scenario.
Yeah.
At was it in to Supreme Court?
Yes, the Supreme Court. Yeah?
Evidence. Form 34C.
Exactly. So he put that with the caption of Philippians 10:13. And if you allow me to read, no trial is too heavy to lift. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide a way to escape so that you may be able to endure. That is Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Now, we also saw earlier on today in his social media. Now, that was yesterday, immediately after the announcement. So on Instagram, if you could go there, so he also posted a second thing, that is social protection is enshrined in the CDF Act. Today in Langata constituency, CDF registered and paid for 250 senior citizens as beneficiaries of the NHIF fund. Yani in short, ameendelea na kazi, you know. And then afterwards, of course, he posted a video with the caption "My Statement," which talks about how he, as a leader, and his section of leadership are so focused on climate action. Now, before I bring you in, Emmanuel, we also have the Nandi senator Samson Cherargei, who pia alikuwa na maswali. Alikuwa anasema, why has action not been taken against the Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka for attending a state dinner at State House? And we also have, he also termed ODM's decision to expel these members as political, number one. Number two, conmanship. Number three, intimidation and blackmail. And we have the UDA Secretary General. These are just reactions of the expulsion. That is Cleophas Malala Ali accused the ODM party of actually attempting to criminalize freedom of thought and association. And finally, we have Ngunjiri Wambuku, who's a leader in the Mount Kenya region, who said that the move by ODM to expel the members was a very weird move that indicated that members of parliament were elected to represent the party and also to fight the government and not to serve the people. So he also shared a tweet that I'm gonna read. Alishare a tweet akisema, the idea that a party can expel elected MPs for associating with the president and the government is just weird. It suggests that those MPs were elected to present their party and fight the government, not serve those who were elected. What's your take on all the reactions that we've seen so far? And those are just but a few of the reactions that we've gotten from the people, as well as some of the leaders in regards to the expulsion of some of the ODM party members.
It's a good thing again as a country. We are seeing the development of democracy, the supremacy of the constitution. Here it's a challenge to the supremacy of a country's constitution 2010. The constitution is not silent on what happens when you are expelled from a political party. The constitution actually puts it clear that once you are expelled from a political party that gave you room to on political office, the first thing that you need to do is to resign. And when you resign, call for a by-election, and then go and defend yourself using a different political outfit. Something which I will honestly say that the five will not welcome it with good hands. And the human nature is that we defend ourselves.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
We are created to defend ourselves. So what Felix Odor Mheshimiwa has done he has tried to show the public how he had stood with ODM. That's what he's trying to tell
Oh,
Kenyans.
yes.
He's trying to remind us Kenyans how he has stood with ODM. He will go and look for all the video clips that they have seen together with Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, greeting him or saying good of him. So that to his supporters, he will seem to be the accused. And maybe blame ODM as a party, as what Cleophas is saying, the abusing of the free will association and thoughts, sharing your ideas on what should be done, as he's saying that the Lang and the others were sharing the ideas with the UDA, which is very wrong. At this point, you are rivals. And UDA, you are rivals to ODM. So the same thing will be done by UDA to members who misbehave. So when you misbehave in a political party, you've nothing. First, you must go to disciplinary committee.
No.
Here is where you defend yourself. Here is where you plead with the team. Here is where you tell them how innocent you are. Here is where you wash your hands. Here we determine the next step they'll take upon you. So Parasaris went and sensed the danger and accepted. She was only fined 250,000. And she continued being an ODM member without even any problem. And serve the people of Nairobi. Felix Odiora and the others who were expelled, they went to the same disciplinary committee. They went themselves. I remember Odior, you know, the main person here is Felix Odior.
No.
Jalas.
Yeah.
Others we are not so keen. Because he has been open to even criticize ODM. Even in Luo Nyanza, Baba's bedroom, lecturing Raila Odinga in his bedroom. You know how it costs you to make a region a bedroom? It takes a lot of sacrifice.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time. And then someone to come and lecture you. So what Felix did, he told Mheshimiwa William Ruto that tomorrow I'm going to a disciplinary committee. I know you're talking with Baba, which is true. Please plead with him to pardon me, to stay in ODM. And then when the president took the podium, what he told him, you know, even me, I was expelled from ODM. Today, I'm the president. So what was he telling him? What he was telling him is that I will accommodate you in UDA if they expel you. No. That's what he was trying to explain to him. Now, all that said and done, you asked about Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka. No. He has not been summoned, that he went for the president's dinner. No, Kenyans, we must agree and read from the same page. It's ODM, Orange Democratic Party, that expelled others. It is not Azimio at large. So ODM is a political party. Azimio is a coalition. So when you go to the register of political parties today, you'll find ODM is registered as a political party. So the leadership of Azimio as a coalition maybe have not sat to punish their members. And if they could have done that,